Hello everyone, this is Carly at Crafting with Class, and first I'd like to apologize for my voice. I have been sick with the flu, but I've been wanting to get this video out because it is a tribute card for the Bryant family for the loss of Kobe and Gianna Bryant, along with the 7 people that were killed in that tragic helicopter crash. For today's card, I took inspiration from a picture that was posted from Staples Center when they were paying tribute to Gigi and Kobe. So this is the card that I created that was inspired by that photo. So I decided to put their 2 jerseys and a basketball in front with their names. And then on the inside, I put their first names and then Kobe's number 8 on there with a heart made from the basketball texture paper. So here's how I put this together. So I took this embossing border that it has is like a little locker, and so I added this and embossed it along the paper just to give the background some interest. I have this die that is a jersey, but not a basketball jersey. But I also die cut the little basketball. So I needed to modify this little football jersey. So I cut the sleeves off to make it look like a basketball jersey. Now, when I looked back at it, I realized the basketball jerseys have no sleeves whatsoever. So I went back later and modified even more to make it look more like a basketball jersey. So here I put some anti-static powder so that I could stamp with Versamark ink and not get any embossing powder where I don't want it. And so I'm starting off with Kobe's number 24 jersey. So I am adding some white embossing powder because I'm going to heat emboss with his number. Okay, so I'm taking my heat tool and heat embossing. And next I'm going to stamp out his last name. So I'm taking some purple ink and I am stamping each letter to spell out Bryant. I did make a pencil mark to make sure that I was stamping these as straight as I possibly could. Okay, so that one is done. And I'm going to next add some details. So I took my Tombow marker and added some purple marker to the 24, but I was interrupted by my grand puppy, my son's dog. There he is. He's a white husky, and so he wanted some of Gigi's time, so I had to go play with him for a little bit. Then I came back and finished up with the jersey. I added a bit more details looking back at the photo. I added a white line with my white marker on the side of the purple line. Here's where I realized, oh, you know what? There's no sleeves. So I trimmed it to make no sleeves. So now I'm working on Gigi's jersey. So once again, I have used my powder tool to eliminate any static. I'm using white embossing powder. I am going to heat set this as well. Okay, so now I went ahead and also trimmed to remove any sleeves to make it look more like a basketball jersey. I've drawn a pencil line to help me with making sure that I align the letters, but it was very difficult to do this with white on black, so it's not as straight as it is for Kobe's jersey, but I did try my best. So I'm stamping all the letters out. I'm going to add white embossing powder to that and heat emboss that also. Okay, so I'm going to add some details to this jersey as well. So there is a white line that went all the way around the jersey. So I did part of it here, and then I went back to the picture and realized it went all the way around. So I added that afterward. So now I'm erasing that pencil line from both of the jerseys. Okay, so I'm thinking about how I want to set this up on my paper. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on a strip of light purple cardstock. I'm going to foam mount it using my T-square ruler to make sure that it's straight. Okay, so again, I'm thinking about how I want to place these. I'm going to add a lot of wet adhesive to make sure that it sticks well, because since there's a lot of texture from the embossing underneath it, I want to make sure that it really sticks. So I'm using the paperweight that I always use to make sure that it is held on there nice and snug. And so the front is done. So now I'm going to work on the card base. So this is half a sheet of 8.5 by 11, scoring it at 4.25, I believe. Well, I'm making an A2 card, so it's 4.25 by 5.5. Okay, and so that is how it will go on to the front. So working on the inside, I'm going to stamp the sentiment in two parts. So the sentiment and then the with sympathy. I decided I wanted to stamp this really beautiful cross, and he embossed it in gold embossing powder. Then I went ahead and heat set it. Okay, so that is how it's going to look on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and glue it in. Now I'm ready to add the front panel. So making sure there's plenty of glue, since again there's a lot of texture from the embossing. And then off camera, I went ahead and added the two jerseys in the front with their first names. They're Kobe and Gianna Mambasita. And the sentiment reads, although no words can really help to ease the loss you bear, just know that you are very close in love and prayer with sympathy. Thanks so much for watching today. And I want to extend a heartfelt sympathy to all the families, fans, and everyone who was touched by this tragedy. There are some pictures of LA Live and Staples to share with you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.